Hi, my name is Debra R. Richardson of Debra R. Richardson LLC, and I work with you to help you clean up your vendor data, clean up your vendor processes, and pay the right vendor. Now, this week's Vendor Master File tip of the week is what has changed on the 1099 MISC and the 1099 NEC for the 2021 tax year, because it would have been too much like right for them to stay exactly the same. So let's take a look at what has changed. So we're going to look at the 1099 NEC first, and as you can see, here's a version of the 2020 form as well as the version of the 2021 form, and they are back to back, and we are looking at copy B for the recipient. Now, the big change occurred in 2020 when this form was reintroduced, and non-employee compensation was moved from 1099 box 7 to box 1 of the 1099 NEC. This year, however, the 1099 NEC has changed. So again, introduced a form last year, and now it's already has a change. So actually a couple of changes, so let's look at that. So the first change is kind of obvious. It's been resized, and so if you take a look at the left hand side, kind of like the bottom of the left hand side, there is a FATCA filing requirement checkbox. That checkbox was on the 2020 version of the form. It is no longer on the form, so that little checkbox and that space took up a lot of real estate, and so removing that gave the IRS the ability to be able to have 3 of the 1099 NEC forms on one page. So that was one change. The second change is box 2. Now, last year box 2 was shaded. It was not enabled. It was just like what you see box 3 as today, but they have brought and giving you the opportunity to report payments for direct sales of $5,000 or more. Now, here's the caveat with this one is that this spend has also been added, or can also be reported as of last year on the 1099 MISC in box 7. So you can report direct sales of $5,000 or more here on box 1090 or on box 2 of the 1099 NEC or box 7 of the 1099 MISC. All right, so those were the changes for the 1099 NEC. So let's take a look at the 1099 MISC or miscellaneous. So again, here is the 2020 and 2021 versions of the 1099 MISC side by side, looking at copy B. And the first big change that you might notice is that it has a different name. Instead of miscellaneous income, it now says miscellaneous information. So that's the first change. And then the second change is box 11. Now, in 2020, box 11 was blank, but in 2021, box 11 is where you report cash payments for the purchase of fish for resale. So it moved back to the 1099 MISC. For 2020, that spend was reported in box 1 of the 1099 NEC form. And then I also have an arrow identifying box 7 to report direct sales of $5,000 or more. Again, you can report that on the 1099 MISC in box 7 or the 1099 NEC box 2. All right, so those were the changes between the 2021 or the 2020 and the 2021 versions of the 1099 MISC and 1099 NEC. If you would like more information on how to improve your vendor process, please go to my website at debrarrichardson.com. There you'll find free tools and resources to avoid fraud, regulatory fines, and just overall bad vendor data. So good luck, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified next Tuesday for the next Vendor Master File tip of the week.